Hey, welcome to the Lance McGowan Show. I have my co-host, Miss Smoothie Simpson here, and today we're going to talk about our own struggles and victories with food. And before we get into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about what we do. So we help people improve their health with natural solutions, and we teach classes here in Las Vegas, and we're really focused on helping people improve their quality of life. And we wanted to just talk a lot about really how we got to that position. And I know for me, my family history, I had a lot of health issues, a lot of health struggles. And like my mom, she had triple bypass surgery when I was 14, and my dad passed away in 1997 of throat cancer, but he had an allergic reaction to the chemo. And for me, those two things really helped shape my mind around wanting to improve my health, but never knowing how. And it wasn't until I came to Las Vegas and started learning about this stuff. I mean, I was looking for healthier people when I went on Meetup and found a green smoothie class and started learning about whole foods and plant-based options that were really healthy for my body. And before, food had been just something that I fill my stomach up with or entertains the taste buds. It had never been something that I thought of as a form of medicine. And for me, that was really a powerful concept. And then I started learning about other natural solutions like essential oils, and really it just helped change my life. And now I can definitely say I spend less on those things that I would get from a doctor, and my quality of life is dramatically better. And now it's just focusing on empowering people. But there's also some day-to-day struggles that I go through. But before we get into those things, could you share a little bit about maybe how you came to this whole lifestyle of wellness?
Originally, I was always kind of a healthy person because I was raised in a pretty healthy background. We grew up in the country and we had a garden, and so I ate, out of the garden. We didn't do fast food, and my mom baked everything, made, everything homemade. So that was pretty great. So I had a pretty great start. And then of course I went into my teenage years where, I went into the soda and the chips and the candy and the cookies. So I kind of had that, but then I started veering back towards my upbringing and eating more healthy, over the years. But what really struck me was 5 years ago, my ex-husband passed away at the young age of 44 years old, which he had a lot of health issues. So one being nutritional deficiency. So I know that, as he struggled with food choices, that he didn't make the best food choices, and so over the years he ended up with a lot of health issues because of those deficiencies. So he ended up with a lot of organs that were failing, which was really traumatic, and so he's not here today. So that really inspired me to really focus on what is healthy, because I had tried so many different diets, because my main goal was originally just to stay slim and keep trim. And so I thought, it doesn't matter what you eat as long as you can just burn it off. But as I got older, when I learned more, I learned that you are what you eat, and even if you are not overweight, those foods and those chemicals that you eat that are in your food stay with you for years and years and can affect you definitely down the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's a good point. There's definitely a cumulative effect that occurs in our cells that build up, and it's really interesting because if our cells are filled with toxins and things that aren't good for us, the good things can't go inside of it, like vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. And so I think it's important we kind of recognize what's going on. And I know that even today, it's funny because sometimes I'll come across somebody who's not eating something quote unquote healthy around me, whether that it could be whatever that is, and they'll be like, "Oh, sorry, Lance, they'll apologize, or they'll say, "Hey, I know I'm not eating healthy around you," or something, and I'll be like, "Hey, that's okay," and I just remind folks that whatever disease that's out there, it doesn't start with one meal; it starts with 1,000, and so it's really a lifestyle or habitual eating of these types of foods that contributes to the stuff later down the road. And so that's what I remind folks of, and I'm like, hey, this is a no judge zone.
Right.
I'm all about education and helping people learn about what their options are, and then helping them make an informed decision about their health versus just seeing one thing that maybe people only see a certain thing on TV, like fast food commercials or or other things, or maybe they were raised a certain way so they only know one type of food, but there's a lot of other stuff out there that tastes really good, that is low cost, and is super healthy. It actually helps the body heal from the inside out. So there's lots of stuff.
Yeah, so when I started on my, journey, which I, call was 4 years ago, when I really kind of switched my diet over to more of a whole plant-based diet, and I really started that journey. And as I learned more and I researched, I did a lot online, and then I did attend a similar class that you did on green smoothies, and decided that I wanted to go into this field. I wanted to help other people. I wanted to help other people feel better, and so I kind of jumped into that with the nutritional thing. And now my friends do know me as a health coach or health instructor, or whatever you want to call it. Just that they can come to me and ask me questions, and I don't have all the answers, but I do have some. So it's nice that I can be able to help friends as well. So that's really cool.
Yeah, and I know for me, like when we think about struggles today, I mean, for me, a lot of my health struggles have been definitely minimized, but I have still experience stress or struggle, other things. But like for me, stories like my mom, we were just catching up for Mother's Day and over the phone, and she was just telling me all the things that were going on in her life, and she had mentioned that she was just going to a cookout. And for me, cookouts had just been a normal time where people just get together and hang out and eat food. But she had mentioned, we're just going to go to a cookout and eat some hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff like that. And for me, I think in my past that normally wouldn't have caused a red flag, but knowing my mom's health history, like she had triple bypass surgery, she's on a number of medications now for blood pressure, cholesterol. She's been diagnosed as pre-diabetic, so not fully yet. Yeah. And so for me, in my mind, I'm like, man, those are some really red flags, like the fact that she's saying that. And I think part of it is, the struggle, how that's my struggle, is that how do I still love her and at the same time educate people when, it's ultimately when they're ready. But for me, it's just tough because, these foods don't kill you right on the spot. It's more of a slow poison. So and it may taste good, but it's kind of keeping all that in mind. It's not something that's going to hit you right away. So.
Yeah, and that's my struggle too, is that our society is focused so much around food and about celebrations and holidays, and most of the time that food is not healthy. But it's what we know. It's our society, it's our tradition, and so we feel like we're missing out if we don't get that. We don't celebrate with those foods. So I kind of felt the same way at Mother's Day. When I saw a lot of mothers getting breakfast in bed or whatever. It's great gesture, but at the same time, what's on their plate? Because to nourish mothers, we need healthy things to make us feel good. So to be able to eat healthy, I think is the best way to celebrate being a mother, so that we can feel good and take care of other people.
Yeah, and what we do is helping people with educating them, and it's not all our struggles and seeing that process, but there is a solution to that, and we're actually going to get into that on our next segment, where we're going to talk about a documentary or two that has really informed us and helped shape our perspective on food, because a lot of times it's one thing to hear it from somebody or see how they're living, but to see objective, fact-based information being presented to us. I mean, with the creation of the internet, there's obviously a lot of stuff out there, but I've watched so far every Netflix food documentary at least twice.
I know you have.
Yeah, so I am not an expert on all of them, but I know just enough to give recommendations, like on my Instagram profiles and stuff like that, to help people be like, all right, well, if you're looking for something to watch that's educational, very informative, and could change your life, I know some people definitely it's changed their lives, then these are some good documentaries. So we're going to talk about those documentaries as well as some other interesting facts around that in the next segment. I'm really excited for that. But yeah, thanks for being an awesome co-host, and make sure to follow us. You can follow Malie or email her at maliesimpson@gmail.com, and you can also message me on Facebook. You can search for Tropical Smoothie Guy, and we'll go from there. Other than that, we'll see you in the next segment.